Hello everyone, I'm Spikes and Bikes, and in today's video me and my dad are riding the CAMBA trails in Heyward and Seeley. So I'll be going over all the trails there and hopefully you guys enjoy. I'll start off with the pictures of the map. These two are part of the Heyward cluster. The next one is the Seeley cluster. And this is the cable cluster. Let's first start off with what I would say is the easiest trail, the Maqua Trail. Now, me and my dad got dropped off in the second half of this trail, so we did not ride the whole thing, but I have rode the whole thing before, and it's relatively easy, kind of like what you're seeing now throughout the entire trail. If you're planning on riding with your kids or with a beginner level rider, I would definitely take the Maqua Trail, and I would start at the Mosquito Brook trailhead. I don't think you'll be able to get a full out and back of the trail though. In total out, it's a 12-mile trail, so that means you'd be riding 24 miles, and that's quite a bit for a beginner biker. Now, advanced riders probably aren't going to want to ride a full 24 miles of this either because it's not the most interesting trail. Well, actually, in terms of this trail system, it's not the most interesting trail. There's a lot of flowy sections on almost every single trail here. The trail system has a lot of terrain, but only a few true climbs. There will be a small climb followed by a fast and flowy section, and that just repeats for most of the trails here. So during the time we were riding here, which was late June in 2020, part of the Maqua Trail was closed, so we had to take the Birkebeiner cross-country ski trail, which is the course for the largest cross-country ski race in North America. The American Birkebeiner is also one of the longest cross-country ski races. People from all over the country come and race this thing, and I find that really neat. And it's especially cool to have mountain bike trails right by where this amazing race is. Alright, moving on to the Hatchery Creek Trail. This feature on the Hatchery Creek Trail is called Velociraptor. This feature is just made out of a creek bed, so you can get some good speed on it. This is not the only feature at the CAMBA trails to go down a creek bed. There are actually a few of them throughout the trails. I would definitely say that all of them are really fun, so they're definitely all worth checking out. One thing to note about the Hatchery Creek Trail is that it is a one-way trail. If you start at the Mosquito Brook trailhead, you're going to have to take the southbound trail out and then come back on the northbound. This is the only trail that is truly one way. There are parts in other trails that are only one way, but that's only for a small section of the trail and not the full trail. This trail is one of the more rocky trails in the CAMBA system, with most of the trails being pretty smooth. In all three clusters, I would say this trail is probably the second most technical trail. The rocks on this trail are just kind of a pain. But if you prefer tech over flow, definitely check this trail out. Next up is Seeley Pass. I wish I could show you guys all the really fun and flowy stuff on this trail, but there's so much of it that it'd take a lot of time, so I picked out some of the best stuff. This section right here is one of the longest ascents you'll have on the entire trail. Flo Mama ends and Seeley Pass begins. It's called the Battlefield. Here's another one of my favorite sections. Now I know a lot of people who watch mountain bike videos come for big jumps, and right now you're not going to find that on this channel. I'm not that greatest at jumping. I'm more comfortable with these smaller jumps that you're seeing, but I want to progress on my jumps. So once I perfect these smaller jumps, I hopefully will move on to some bigger jumps. Now if you're looking to hit some bigger jumps, don't worry, this trail's got you covered as well. I rolled over most of these jumps. The tabletops here look pretty cool. Coming up to this drop, I saw all the big warning signs, and from my angle it looked like it was going to be like a 5 or 6 foot drop, but it ended up being only a couple of feet. I was definitely not ready for that jump line. This is one of the biggest climbs you'll find at these 3 clusters. It's one of 2 big climbs on Seeley Pass. Most people with a GoPro will know that the GoPro tends to distort the image to make hills seem a lot easier than they actually are. Now this hill might look easy to you and you might be thinking, oh, I can handle that, it's not going to be that bad, but as a 16-year-old cross-country runner who regularly does hill workouts, I can tell you that in fact my heart rate was higher while climbing this than my hill workouts. According to Strava, this is only 1/10 of a mile, but it's a 13.6% grade, and it took me 2 minutes. Now I don't think you should avoid this trail because of it, because this trail is like one of the best trails here. But be mindful of your physical ability. You don't want to ride to your breaking point and not be able to ride for the rest of your trip, so just be mindful. Alright, I'm going to save Flo Mama for last, so it's onto the Ikebwe Trail. The Ikebwe is the second longest trail in all the 3 clusters. It's also the most technical trail in the 3 clusters. It's more of an old school style trail. It's got some fast and flowy sections, but there's also some rock gardens and also tree roots. I had some pretty close calls with hitting my handlebars going in between trees. Hatchery. This is one of the technical rock gardens on the trail. I tried riding this, but my back tire kept on skidding out on all the roots. Don't worry, the Ikebwe Trail has a flowy section. It is near the end where it connects to Flo Mama, but at least it's better than nothing. They still incorporate the cool rock gardens in this section as well. Here's another one of those creek bed sections. Alright, moving on to the Esker Trail. In my opinion, the Esker Trail is the least fun trail here. They label it as 100% single track, but about a third of it is part of a grass path that gets mowed once in a while. It really is just a connector to Danky Dank, which leads to the Namakagan cluster.
It is now raining, and we have to make our way back to the car. Trail. Well, it's raining. I hate this trail.
The rain definitely didn't help all the little climbs with loose rocks.
Alright, so we finished riding the Esker Trail, and we're not going back on it because with it raining, it rained, and it's mainly just rocks on the trail. Just don't want to get hurt and slip and crash, so we're going to take the road back.
The next trail is called Dirt Candy, but it was not on the paper map I had, so this is where it would be. I'm almost 100% sure that Dirt Candy is 100% machine built. If I am correct, that would mean that Dirt Candy is the only trail 100% machine built in all the three clusters. And I do have to say, the smoothness of this trail was really fun. Me and my dad saw a video on this upcoming feature, and this feature is pretty much the reason why me and my dad came to check this trail out. Nothing beats a corkscrew feature on a trail. There is a specific section that warns you about big drops and jumps, but me and my dad decided to skip that section to try and avoid features above our skill level and possibly getting hurt. Even though we didn't take the sketchy line, there are still some good sized jumps ranging between 8 and 12 feet like you saw back there. The berms on this trail are the best you'll find on any of the trails. I guess that's just the machine magic at its finest. final trail, and also my favorite, is Flo Mama. Taking Flo Mama to the trailhead on Camp 38 Road is really fun. Coming down from High Point also gives you some good speed. Alright, here is the famous gravity cavity. Out of all the features that follow creek beds here, this one is by far the best. To end this video off, I'm showing you guys River Pig. It is a 180-foot long log ride. Now for the people who ride in British Columbia, this might not seem such a big of a deal, but for the Midwest, this is a really rare feature. You just don't find very many log rides or skinnies like this. Alright, I didn't make it the first time, but I wasn't going to give this up till I actually made it. So here's the second attempt. Not quite, but third time's a charm, right? Alright guys, those were the CAMBA trails in Heyward, Seeley, and Cable. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I have another mountain biking video coming out soon. It's gonna be about the Marquette South Trails. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time.